Hi, my name is Frank Garofalo, and today I'll be presenting to you the pitch and critique method. Let's jump into the slides. Here we go. So brainstorming, especially when you're in a group setting, can be a very messy, collaborative social process, and we'll actually get into that more in the next section. But for this specific method, it's meant to help you embrace critiques from other individuals through a focused process. And hopefully it'll help you minimize interruptions you might have during your presentation. I know there's certainly been times when I've given a presentation and people begin to ask questions, and you don't have a chance to finish all of the content in your presentation by the end of the time that you have allotted, or people begin to ask questions and it's content that you plan to address, but it's just further and deeper into your presentation deck. So this is a method to help you handle those types of situations. And to give credit, this is a technique that I learned from attending a presentation a few years ago. So first part here is what's called the pitch, that you set the stage for asking your audience that these are the specific things I would like to receive a critique about. So you're inviting your audience. You could even list out on a slide bullet points on the specific items that you'd like to receive a critique. Likewise then, you could list out the specific things that you do not want to receive a critique about. These could be things that are still a work in progress, that you're still thinking through, that are still kind of fluid. So you set the stage of the things that you're inviting them to give you feedback, and the things that at this time, when you're giving them the presentation, that you do not yet want to receive a critique on. Then with the setup, so at the beginning of your presentation, make sure that everyone in the room has sticky notes. You can never have, in my opinion, you can never have enough sticky notes, but at least make sure that they have a piece of paper and a writing utensil. Then ask your audience to write down any of their questions or comments as you give your presentation. You could even list slide numbers in each of your slides and then allow them to write down the corresponding slide number with their question or their comment. And then describe to your audience that if any of their questions have not yet been addressed by the time you reach the end of your presentation, that you will save time to allow them then to ask those questions or to address those comments. So you'll save time at the end of your presentation to do that. The next then, when you reach that time in your presentation at the end, and you've had a chance to cover all of your content, is called the ask, the give, and the receive. So first part is the ask. Now, when you're sort of then welcoming them to give you those critiques and that feedback, one way to do that is with two prompted questions. The first one simply can be, what about this design or this concept or any of the content in your presentation? What resonates with your audience? Then you can also ask them what concerns them. If there's anything that they're not sure about or if they're scratching their head about. So these are two prompted questions that you could use at that time when you're asking for that feedback. Next part in the give. Now this can be advice for anyone when you're giving someone else feedback and giving someone else a critique, that a good critique should be a dialogue. It should be a conversation back and forth with you and the other person. And one way to do that is to ask questions rather than making statements or making assumptions, but ask questions to gain a better understanding or to gain clarification. And then the third one is for any concern that you raise to try to be proactive and to present a possible solution that then could handle that concern or that situation. And if you're the one then that's receiving the feedback, certainly keep an open mind to try to gain new insights or gain a fresh perspective, that you're inviting them to give you their thoughts, and don't sort of knock down any critiques that you might receive or any feedback you receive, that hopefully if it's in a positive setting, that they're trying to help you with constructive criticism, and to not shoot it down and not be negative in that situation. So that's the pitch and critique method, and I'll see you in the next section. Thanks.